Anti-government protests in Iran enter their 8th week and show no signs of slowing down. So far, more than 300 people have been killed and nearly 15,000 arrested, according to a human rights organization in Iran. The country's parliament also voted to institute the death penalty for people who were arrested. These demonstrations in Iran were sparked by the death of 22-year-old Masha Amini, killed in the custody of the country's morality police after refusing to wear a hijab in public.
Now, this is beyond sad. Here's some details on what and who the morality police are. The morality police is a unit of Iran's police forces tasked with enforcing the laws on Islamic dress code in public. According to the regulation, all women above the age of puberty must wear a head covering and loose clothing in public, although the exact age is not clearly defined. Now, a major part of Iran's social regulation is based on the state's interpretation of Islamic Sharia law, which requires both men and women to dress modestly. However, in practice, the morality police primarily target women. So just plain and simple, it's a violation of human rights. And it is evil, because any violation of human rights is wrong. And if it's immoral, then it must be evil. And this is happening under tyranny. That is happening right now in this country. And so these protesters have reached 58 days despite the growing death. I mean, they mean this. They are literally putting their bodies on the line in this fight. Iranians have kept up their protests despite the deadly dangers, which now include the risk of execution following a vote by 227 of Iran's 290 members of parliament in favor of imposing the death penalty on demonstrators in order to teach them, quote, a hard lesson. Now, it doesn't get more harder than the threat of losing your life. That is a hard lesson. On Saturday, the Norway-based Iran Human Rights NGO said security forces have killed at least 326 people, including 25 women and 43 children. Check out this horrific tweet. There it is. Iran parliament votes overwhelmingly to execute over 14,000 arrested protesters. The global response, starting with the G20, must be severe and immediate. Thank you, Ian. I totally agree with you. Must be severe and it must be immediate. We can't play with this. Jessica?
Yeah, the right to protest is under attack all around the world. What's going on in Iran is terrible. It's an attack on freedom. It's an attack on women's rights. Just the right to dress how you want, I think, is a basic human right. So what's going on here is just absolutely disgusting. And I think there's also a problem that the United States likes to talk about these issues as if nothing like this would ever happen in the United States. And we have to be very clear that any US involvement in Iran right now in this situation, you always have to make the calculation, would that make matters worse or better? And it's my understanding that it would make it worse. But we can stand in solidarity with the protesters there because similar things happen in the United States. I mean, what's going on in Iran is their leaders are being mysteriously killed, mysteriously arrested under circumstances where you have the police there telling people to record lesions on people who are attacked, where there's evidence of rape, to record that they were in that state before they went into custody. I mean, it's just disgusting. But we also had, during the Black Lives Matter uprising after George Floyd, a lot of the leaders of that movement mysteriously dying as well, and press in the United States not covering that. So as people who want to protest, who want to have basic human rights observed, we can be in solidarity with them without telling our State Department to go and intervene and make matters worse.
Definitely in solidarity, and thank you for bringing up that most recent in our old enough to remember time. We can go back to the 20th century where our government did the same kind of stuff. And even local and state governments participated as well. And that mainly happened during the civil rights movement when you had the FBI bugging the rooms and the places of people like Minister Malcolm X and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other leaders. It was not just them infiltrating their organizations, causing chaos. what they did to the Black Panthers and Fred Hampton, one very important example. The MOVE group that was in Philadelphia, same thing. So you're absolutely right, Jessica. We, this country, got to clean up our own mess before we start thumbing our noses in somebody else's. But that solidarity, that everyday ordinary people solidarity is so vitally important. And the people, the women of Iran have remained steadfast, not allowing hate to win.